This is wild.
Hey, welcome back, ScreenCrush. I'm Ryan Airy. Alright, so Quantumania sets up so many things for what's coming up next in the multiverse saga. We gotta talk about what happens now with the Council of Kangs, what it means for the Avengers and the multiverse, and what could happen with Kang the Conqueror after his supposed death, and how everything else connects, the incursions, the Fantastic Four, other heroes from the multiverse like Deadpool, and even the Young Avengers. So, let's go over what could be happening next in the multiverse saga and how it all leads to Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. Alright, so the ending of Quantumania sets up the Council of Kangs as the biggest baddies in the multiverse.
Yeah, where does it count? That's confusing.
Okay, so this is a multiversal alliance of Kang variants from every universe. And remember, a variant is an alternate version of someone from a different universe.
But Milhouse is my name.
But I thought I was the only one.
Now, there's three important variants in this scene. Those are the council leaders. Now, they are Immortus, Ramatut, and a third variant. Now, this one is probably meant to be the Scarlet Centurion from the comics. For the sake of this video, we're just going to call him Scarlet Centurion or Cyborg Kang. The Kangs ruled the multiverse, and they don't want anyone else using or even knowing about the multiverse.
Because they're control freaks?
That, and also because they're worried that others will destroy their multiversal empire. So they're uniting all the Kang variants from every universe to wage war on Earth 616, and they will probably attack every other universe that may have touched the multiverse.
Don't touch my stuff!
Put it away!
Don't touch it!
So this establishes the multiversal war for Avengers the Kang Dynasty. You thought one Kang was bad, now imagine what happens when thousands of them fight the Avengers. But don't forget about the Kang that we met in Quantumania. According to him, the Council of Kangs is playing with time, like children. Their actions are killing the multiverse. All of these Kangs exist because of the rules of time travel. Whenever somebody travels through time, they create a new branching timeline. Those timelines become new universes, and this is how we have the multiverse. The movie represented this visually in that awesome scene when Ant-Man meets his variants. Scott enters a probability storm which is created by Kang's multiversal engine core. He begins splitting into countless variants. Each new Scott is a version of himself that made a slightly different choice. Now this probability storm is a miniature version of how the multiverse works, and this is how there are so many Kangs. The problem is that the Kang variants keep creating too many new timelines, and this is triggering endless incursions.
An incursion occurs when the boundary between two universes erodes and they collide, destroying one or both.
You sleepy, buddy?
That's my secret, person. I am always sleepy. How come you're always so wide awake and chipper?
Well, man, you know, I used to have trouble sleeping. I'd get all wound up, doom scrolling right before bed, which led me to falling asleep later and then not sleeping very well. But then I started using Sandland. They're the sponsor of this video.
Oh, like after Never, Neverland.
No, that's Enter Sandman. Sandland is an all-natural daily sleep supplement that's designed to help restore your body's natural sleep rhythm in a sustainable and non-habit forming way. So Sandland focuses on two key stages where I struggle. It helps you to fall asleep fast and then to stay asleep. It's actually very easy to use. You take Stay Asleep Plus about an hour before bed, then about 15 minutes before you want to fall asleep, you chew the Fall Asleep Plus. Now you do this for a few weeks to reset your body's natural sleep pattern. And I want to stress that this is a natural supplement that is non-habit forming. It's formulated with ingredients like valerian root, hemp seed protein, CBN, L-theanine, magnesium citrate, and peppermint. Chemical sedatives like NyQuil and Ambien only knock you out. They don't actually help you to wake up feeling rested or to train your body to fall asleep. But natural sleep aids break this cycle of stress and anxiety before you go to bed. So eventually you won't even need these kind of sleep aids anymore. So try Sandland and take control of your night's sleep. Click our link in the description and use promo code ScreenCrush to get 15% off your Sandland purchase. Now back to what I was saying. So what this means is that universes are colliding and blinking out of existence. The incursions are destabilizing the multiverse, destroying everything everywhere all at once. Kang claims to have tried to stop this, and in Kang's flashback, Janet sees him destroying worlds, and it's hinted that he burned down whole universes to stop incursions. He sees himself as the only one that sees what is happening, the only one who can handle the terrible truth of what he must do.
You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
So the other Kangs just don't care?
Well, we actually don't know if they aren't trying to save the multiverse themselves. It is possible that the very reason why the Council wants to prevent others from using the multiverse is to stop these incursions. After all, the Kang variants aren't the only ones that can trigger incursions. The one thing that Phase 4 established about the multiverse is that it's extremely fragile. There are like thousands of ways to end a universe, and you don't even need one Infinity Stone to do it. And let's be real here, so far it was the heroes who messed with reality, so maybe the Council of Kangs have a point. The Council might see themselves as the protectors of of the multiverse. From their point of view, eliminating anyone who puts the multiverse in danger is the only way. But according to Kang, he is the only one who can see what's really happening to the multiverse. His variants are playing with time, and they don't see or care about the consequences of their meddling with these timelines. And I'm inclined to believe him because, well, that just makes him a much better villain. The Council might have grown too dependent on their control of the multiverse, too addicted to their power to the point that they have become out of touch, refusing to face what's right in front of them because it's easier to pretend that everything is going to be fine, like most bureaucratic organizations.
Into the bureaucrats, the true rulers of the Republic.
I mean, just look at how Scott reacts to Kang's warning. Just as he starts worrying about the thing that Kang said, Scott lies to himself and says that everything's going to be okay. When faced with future calamities, people often decide to ignore them, turn a blind eye until it's way too late.
Move on! Nothing to see here! Please disperse!
Now, what's important to remember is that Earth is going to be unprotected when the Kangs attack. For starters, there is no established team of Avengers right now. All the heroes are off doing their own separate thing.
Doctor Strange dealing with incursions. Captain Marvel, she's in space. And Wong, well, you know, Wong is watching Sopranos. He's Wong.
Right, and it seems like Earth's heroes are going to get into a conflict with the world's governments. That's something that was hinted at in Wakanda Forever and in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. The government is planning something really big and bad. And it was recently confirmed that Thunderbolt Ross is the President of the United States, and that can't be a good thing. And on top of that, there's secret invasion and the discovery of the Skrulls that will create a serious paranoia on Earth. And this could also end up dividing the heroes of Earth. Now, all of this is important because the heroes won't be ready for the Council of Kangs. And this is why the multiverse is in serious danger going into Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. And this is also the title of one of Kang's biggest stories from the comics. In this story, Kang conquered Earth in the present to prevent countless terrible futures. And this parallels Kang's motivation in Quantumania. He wants to conquer the multiverse to stop it from dying. The movie established him as the big bad of the multiverse. He's got a compelling motivation, he's really menacing and powerful, and he needs to return.
But what about the other Kangs?
True, there is a whole council of Kangs, countless versions of them. But here's the thing. The Council of Kangs never had any significant role in the comics. They're mostly there in service of Kang. Kang the Conqueror is the variant who needs to be the real big bad, and they already got him.
But he's dead.
Well, maybe not. See, Scott overcharged the multiversal engine core with PEM particles. Kang was sucked into it, and then the core blew up. It didn't look pretty, but I don't think it counts as a death. I mean, it's a multiverse traveling machine. It literally opens portals to any universe and any timeline. For all we knew, when the core blew up, it teleported Kang out of the quantum realm and he ended up in another universe, probably Earth 616. Now, before we explain this, I got a sidebar for just a moment, because we have to talk about the importance of Kang's multiversal engine core for just a second. The engine itself is an orb enveloped by rings. There are also rings around Kang's chair, and finally there's the big structure with all those huge rings. It's kind of like those Russian dolls.
Oh my God! There's another doll in here. Hi, look at this. There's a doll in here.
And those rings, I mean, we all see it, right? Those rings look exactly like Shang-Chi's 10 rings.
What? Wait, are they the same?
Not the same ones exactly, but the resemblance can't be a coincidence. We never did find out where the 10 rings came from, and there's that mysterious beacon that they're sending out. They might be sending that signal to Kang or his variants. Now, we do have an upcoming video that's going to dive into the importance of the 10 rings to the multiverse, and the connection between the rings, Kang, and even Ms. Marvel's bangle. So make sure you don't miss that video, subscribe, click the bell, etc. The gist of it is that Shang-Chi's rings and Ms. Marvel's bangle will be very important in the multiverse saga. All right, so back to how Kang can return.
Surprise, bitch. I bet you thought you'd seen the last of me.
If Kang is still alive, then that means he can infiltrate the council, Trojan horse style. He can pretend to be a different variant or even replace one of the leaders. And then he can turn the variants on each other and destroy the council from the inside.
But you will tear them apart from the inside.
He's already got the perfect opening in the council because there's dissension in the ranks. Rama Tut and Scarlet Centurion don't seem to like each other very much. Scarlet Centurion also appears to disapprove of Immortus calling all the other Kang variants. So considering that they're all alternate versions of Kang, none of them can actually trust the other. Kang can exploit this and manipulate his variants against one another, as well as get them to attack other universes and do his dirty work for him. The Kang variants might be allies right now, but don't forget about the incursions.
That you had inadvertently triggered an incursion.
Everyone in that reality died.
The more of them that are triggered, the more universes are destroyed, and sooner or later it's going to be every Kang for himself. That is how the Kang variants will begin a multiversal war. Remember, Kang doesn't just want to defeat his variants, he wants to
burn them out of time.
Why does it gotta do that mean thing?
Because it's the only way to wipe them out of existence. All the Kangs are time travelers, so they exist at multiple points in time. The only way to erase them is to destroy their entire timelines, meaning their entire universes. Now, there's a very different path that Marvel could take with Kang. Kang could return more powerful than anyone could ever imagine.
Ooh, how's that?
Well, think about it. Kang shrunk into the core after Scott loaded it up with Pym particles. So what happens to someone who goes subatomic inside a subatomic reality? They might shrink into another reality that's underneath of that.
But what could possibly be under the quantum realm?
Well, that's where things get interesting. The quantum realm is used for time travel as well as multiversal travel. It seems like there's only one quantum realm in the entire multiverse, which makes it the bedrock of the multiverse. So if Kang shrinks down even further, he might exit the multiverse itself and enter the void that is beyond it. And that could set up the Beyonders.
Oh, who are they?
Okay, so in the comics, there were two iterations of Secret Wars, and the Beyonders were responsible for both of them. In the original Secret Wars, there was a being called the Beyonder, who at the time was considered to be the most powerful being in the universe. He created Battle World, a world where heroes and villains basically competed in cosmic Squid Games. The Beyonder came from the Beyond universe, a realm beyond the multiverse. Also, the Beyonder was created by the Beyonders, and they were the reason for 2015 Secret Wars, which is the main inspiration for the MCU's version. So the Beyonders are these beings that exist in a reality outside the multiverse. They manipulated the multiverse and they were responsible for all these incursions. And these incursions ended the entire multiverse, every single reality gone. And right before reality collapsed, Dr. Doom managed to steal the power of these Beyonders, and he used their energy to create Battle World, a pocket universe that was comprised of the remnants of the multiverse. So Kang might fill in that role in the MCU. After what happened in Quantumania, Kang will shrink outside of the multiverse itself and end up in the Beyonders' reality. And then he somehow will steal their power and return to the multiverse more powerful than anyone could imagine.
They take power from the undeserving. It's kind of my thing.
Or maybe after Kang drops into their reality, the Beyonders will choose him as their champion, making him the MCU's version of the Beyonder from the 1984 Secret Wars. But Kang is going to trick them, and eventually the multiverse as we know it will end. And then Kang will use the Beyonders' power to create Battle World like in the comics, and he will rule it like a god. This could be how Kang Dynasty ends, sort of like the snap in Infinity War. And then in Secret Wars, the Avengers will form a multiversal alliance on Battle World and defeat Kang and restart the multiverse. And this is where Secret Wars is going to be so epic. Imagine the scenes with the three Peters in No Way Home reuniting, but like with every hero from every movie ever. All the X-Men, Ghost Rider, all the Daredevils, everybody could be on Battle World at the same time.
Shut up and take my money!
Now, before we get to the end of the multiverse though, we still have to get through phases 5 and 6, and many of the upcoming projects will deal with the multiverse. As things ramp up, different heroes are going to be dealing with Kang variants and the multiverse situation. From the Quantumania post-credits scene, Loki is going to be dealing with yet another variant of Kang, Victor Timely. Now, Loki is crucial to the multiverse saga because he knows how everything's going to end, and he even plays a part in it.
Someone is coming. Countless different versions of a very dangerous person, and they're all set on war. We need to prepare.
Without getting too much into Loki Season 1, Loki met another Kang variant called He Who Remains, who told him crucial information about the multiverse.
The peace between realities erupted.
He spoke about a multiversal war that the Kang variants will start, a war that could end all of reality, which is exactly what seems to be happening in Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars. So it's only a matter of time till Loki will cross paths with more Kangs, and eventually the Council of Kangs. And since Loki is so integral to the multiversal conflict, sooner or later he's going to meet Doctor Strange, because at the end of Multiverse of Madness, Steven met Clea, and she told him that he triggered an incursion, and now they gotta go stop it.
You caused an incursion, and we're gonna fix it.
From what Kang told Janet, he had to stop incursions by burning broken worlds, meaning universes that were colliding because of incursions. So in the comics, the Illuminati had to destroy whole worlds to protect their universes from incursions. So this could lead to Doctor Strange teaming up with Loki and others to deal with the multiversal crisis. Deadpool 3 could also deal with incursions. Wade is going to fight Logan for some reason, meaning that there's going to be some time travel involved. Deadpool 3 could actually be an adaptation of Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe. I mean, the second movie ends with Deadpool getting his own time machine.
Wait, is that you?
Hey, it's me. Don't scratch.
Maybe his actions will trigger an incursion that kills the X-Men universe. Now, that's the universe where the X movies took place, kind of like Deadpool killed the Marvel universe in the comics. And that is how Deadpool gets involved with this multiversal situation. Now, the movie that is shaping out to be the most important one in Phase 6 is the Fantastic Four.
What do you mean, that thing with Miles Teller and everything? That's not gonna be very good.
No, sir. In a recent interview, Kevin Feige said that the Fantastic Four are a big pillar of the MCU. Now, considering that the Fantastic Four movie is coming out right before Kang Dynasty, Dynasty, it must mean that the movie will deal with the multiverse and Kang variants. The Fantastic Four have many connections to Kang and the multiverse. First of all, Kang's real name is Nathaniel Richards, and he's a descendant of Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic. So Kang's origin is also tied to the Fantastic Four. Before becoming the Conqueror, Nathaniel Richards went back in time and became the Pharaoh Rama-Tut in ancient Egypt. That's the variant that we see in the credits scene. The Fantastic Four also traveled to that timeline, they defeated Kang and sent him back to the future, and that is how he became Kang. The Fantastic Four are actually the inception of his story. So who knows, maybe in the movie they will meet a younger version of Kang, like Rama-Tut. That could be the variant from which all the others diverged from, meaning the Fantastic Four will inadvertently create Kang.
What do you have to say for yourself?
Also, they could be the reason why the Kangs have multiversal traveling tech. So in the lead up to Secret Wars, the smartest man alive built a multiversal machine called the Bridge, and with it he discovered what was going on in the multiverse. This included him meeting the Interdimensional Council of Reeds. It's basically like the Council of Kangs, only they are Reeds variants, and they are actually trying to make the universe better, not conquer it. With everybody meeting their variants, that is something that we could see happening in the MCU. Also, Mr. Fantastic discovered that the multiverse is dying because of these incursions.
Incursion occurs when the boundary between two universes erodes and they collide, destroying one or both entirely.
So, this seems to be the best story for the Fantastic Four in the MCU, which will be the Fantastic Four going on an adventure through the multiverse and finding a way to save it from death. Then they can meet that younger version of Kang that I mentioned, and accidentally giving him an interdimensional traveling machine that will begin his multiversal story. And whatever discovery they find in the movie, it could then save the multiverse in Secret Wars. And this is what happened in the comics version. The Fantastic Four were at the center of the story, and they even restarted the multiverse at the end of the comic. Now, speaking of a younger Kang, I want to talk about the Young Avengers. We did not get any confirmation that Marvel is doing a Young Avengers team yet, but it seems to make sense after Quantumania.
Why is that?
Let me explain. The Young Avengers assembled during a time when the Avengers were disbanded. Now that happened after Wanda went a little crazy and altered reality for a bit, kind of like she went crazy in Multiverse of Madness. Coincidence?
I think not!
The team was assembled by Iron Lad, who is a younger version of Kang. One of their first major battles was against Kang the Conqueror himself, a story that includes time travel, the multiverse, and a lot of things that fit perfectly into what Quantumania established. And most of the members of the Young Avengers have been introduced already in the MCU. Cassie is now a hero, and in the comics she has two superhero personas, Stature and later Stinger. And the MCU has combined them into just one identity. Plus, she became a quantum expert all on her own, so she's somewhat of a scientist herself.
Impressive.
And then there's Billy and Tommy, who could return in Vision Quest. Kate Bishop is the new Hawkeye. America Chavez is going to be very important due to her ability to open portals to any universe. Riri Williams just became Ironheart, and Elijah Bradley will become the Patriot at some point because the actor is confirmed to appear in Captain America New World Order. Those are some of the key members of the Young Avengers. Heck, you can throw in Heimdall's son Axel too if you want. He can show up as a floating head from time to time in all his CGI glory, sort of like Zordon from Power Rangers.
99 bottles of slime on the wall, 99 bottles of slime.
Alright, you're gonna do something here with this?
Yes, in all seriousness, here's how the Young Avengers could connect to Kang. The Council of Kangs is filled with countless variants of Kangs. What if one of them is Iron Lad? Unlike his variants, he's actually a good lad that disagrees with what the Council is doing.
I'm not like you.
After that meeting of the Council in the credit scene, Iron Lad travels to Earth 616 to warn the heroes about the Kangs.
Who?
But like in the comics, the Avengers aren't a team right now, so instead he goes to the Ant Squad, because they are the ones who actually defeated the exiled Kang. In the aftermath of Quantumania, Cassie will probably continue exploring the quantum realm and its connection to the multiverse, so that's how the two of them meet. So it will be up to Cassie and Iron Lad to assemble these Young Avengers. The team might go on a multiversal journey to stop the other Kangs. Something similar happened in the comics where the Young Avengers battled Kang. Kang tried to alter his own past by influencing his younger self, that being Iron Lad, and we could see a reversal of this story in the MCU. Instead of Kang trying to change his past, it'll be Iron Lad who attempts to change his own future with the help of the Young Avengers. Meaning that they will search for a point in the time stream that could erase all the other Kangs from their timelines without wiping out whole universes. Another direction will be one of the best Young Avengers stories from the comics, and that is the Children's Crusade. So in the comics, the Avengers disassembled after Wanda messed with reality, and that's why the Young Avengers had to assemble. One of their missions was to find Wanda, who at the time was presumed to be dead, just like she's supposedly dead in the MCU. Now Wanda was of course alive, but she lost her memory and Dr. Doom was manipulating her. He was planning to steal her powers to become God.
Doom's gotta do what Doom's gotta do.
Exactly. So this could be the story for the Young Avengers in the MCU. The team will search for Wanda because her reality-altering powers are probably the only thing that can save the multiverse. The Young Avengers will help her find redemption, reunite her with Vision, and maybe even their kids from another universe, and in the end, help save reality.
And there was much rejoicing.
And who knows, this could be a great way to introduce Doctor Doom as the next villain in the next MCU saga. So this is everything that could come next after Quantumania. As you can see, there are many possibilities for the multiverse saga, and clearly the MCU has all sorts of stories to make it epic. So what do you think is going to happen next? Is Kang going to return? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below or at me on Twitter. And if it's your first time here, please subscribe and smash that bell for alerts. For ScreenCrush, I'm Ryan Airy.